Hi guys, Steph Belton here once again. Today I thought I'd do a vlog because it's been a while since I've done a vlog, and this will be entitled Room 101 vlog. Vlog, sorry. Pretty much, if people are wondering what Room 101 is, for people in the UK, pretty much know what it is. For people outside the UK, it's a television program you might have seen on YouTube. That's on British television. I think it's mainly shown on the BBC. Pretty much what they do is they have a celebrity guest in, but like the more recent series, they have three celebrity guests in, and they talk about the things that they don't like, and they try and get them into Room 101. And pretty much what I like about the program is that you get to find out what sort of people don't like in life, and that kind of thing. And also, if your favourite celebrity, like hero, icon, idol, that kind of thing, if they're on Room 101, you sort of get to find out what they don't like. And also, it's really interesting if you find a celebrity that puts something into Room 101 or tries to, and it's something that you don't like as well. It's sort of like really interesting. It's like, oh my god, I don't like that either. So I wrote down 8 things that I would put into Room 101, along with many other things. If I come up with them, I'll probably put them down as well. So anyway, these are my Room 101 entries for um, myself. Pretty much, number one are celebs. Basically, like horrible words that get used for certain minority groups. That kind of thing, like the N word. Well, okay, N word, like spelling Tigger with an N. That's for like what people used to call black people. Like mink, but spelt with a C, what people describe Chinese people like. That kind of thing, and horrible words for like gay people like faggot, puss, queer, that kind of thing. But the ones that are still going around at the moment that people so just throw around in everyday, use of language, and they seriously should, be, shouldn't have a zero tolerance sort of, rule with them. Ones like retard, spastic, mongrel, that kind of thing. Like the word retard nowadays, it's like it would be found in the dictionary for describing anything that's bad, stupid, weird, that kind of thing, or a funny moment. You it's just I really think they should be sort of you know more tolerated. I mean, if I were to say, oh my god, that was such a Tigger spelled with an N moment, I get slapped across the face and told to mind my own language. But apparently using the word, the R word for like disabled people, apparently that's still okay. So I just think they should be all put into Room 101 where they're out of the way and they can't do any harm. There they belong. Yeah, by the way, I've got a pen in my hand because I actually wrote these down. And there's my really crappy, yeah, that's my really crappy handwriting for stuff. So, and as you saw on the list, the next thing I'm going to put into Room 101, if I could, would be tomatoes. They are so overrated. I mean them in every salad, but I do like things like I do like foods like salsa, tomato sauce, that kind of thing. But I just don't like tomatoes. Like how I like orange squash and orange flavoured things, but I don't like oranges, and I don't like orange juice. Um, I mean, the fact is, I really like sandwiches. There's a really good baguette that they do in BB Muffins. Other cafes are available. But what they do with the Coronation chicken baguette, is they put cucumber and lettuce in there. That's really nice. It really adds extra flavour. But they put tomatoes in there. And I think they must know me deep down somehow that I don't like tomatoes. So what they managed to do with the tomatoes, they hook it round, so bend it round, then put the Coronation chicken in the baguette. So every time I try and pull it out, it gets snagged, and so little bits get left in there, and then you have to sort of poke around the sandwich to get the little bits out. It's annoying, you know, just really, really annoying. And also, it's like everybody likes tomatoes. Why does everybody like tomatoes? As soon as you say to someone, I don't like tomatoes, it's like, you make yourself feel like a weirdo because you're the only one sitting there with a salad that mainly consists of green and occasionally yellow vegetables. You don't have red or anything else. Maybe purple would be blue. But, it's just really weird. Might be some of you out there say, actually, I don't like tomatoes either. I find it really annoying when they're in salad. So, I just don't like tomatoes. So, anyway, that's another thing I put into Room 101. Another thing, which is quite a modern thing, like if someone announces a baby on the way, sometimes some people would say, we're expecting, or guess what, we're having a baby. But most of the time, I've seen on videos or whatever, on YouTube, reactions to the surprise announcement, is guess what? We're pregnant. We're pregnant. Right. How does that annoy me? Simple. It's, I'm not a grammatical bully. I'm not a grammar bully. I'm not nicky picky about grammar because I don't usually get it correct. Sometimes I write stuff on like Twitter, like tweets, that kind of thing, and I forget to proofread afterwards. And I find I missed out a word when I thought I typed in the word, but it turns out I haven't. So it makes the sentence not make sense in some way. So, but we're pregnant. That just doesn't sound right to me. It makes it sound like we are. It's for two, a plural thing. It's for two people. In my mind, it's either what makes sense, and I'm sure many people might agree with me, what makes sense is I'm pregnant, we're expecting, or we are having a baby. When you say we're pregnant, it makes it sound like the bloke's pregnant as well. It's like, oh, guess what, Steph? We're pregnant. What, him as well? He's pregnant? You're carrying one half and he's carrying the other half of the baby. And when you give birth, you just got to click the baby together and they breastfeed. It just doesn't sound right. And also, I think it sounds a bit rich for a guy to say we're pregnant. So, but because I've said to my boyfriend a couple of times, if I were to fall pregnant, you're not allowed to use the phrase we're pregnant. I'm the one that's pregnant. You got me pregnant. Or let's just say we conceived. That makes sense because you can't conceive a baby without the other. But I'm the one that's pregnant. I'm gonna have to have my belly swells, swollen ankles, weird cravings, emotions, that kind of thing, and have to go through the pain of labour. So, when men say, oh, we're pregnant, it just doesn't sound right because the woman's like, yeah, we're pregnant, but guess who's going to have to go through all the process of pregnancy? Me. Who's having to give birth at the end of it? Me. I mean, if you gave birth, all hell will break loose and you're, imagine if a man could have to give birth to half the baby or even the baby itself. The good news is you've had a baby, bad news is blown the cock off. I don't know why that makes me giggle, but maybe because I'm a woman, but it's just another thing, it's a modern thing that people say. It just doesn't make right to me. It doesn't make right to me? No. It doesn't make sense to me. That's the word. Anyway. So anyway, that's what I put into Room 101. Another one I've put into Room 101 is stereotype. Pretty much it's like paying family fortunes and you say, we asked 100 people, what's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of blonde people? And you smack it down, or smack the buzzer and you say, dumbness. Our survey says, and it goes ping, and then, oh, what else? They have more fun. You say, they have more fun. Our survey says, and that kind of thing. So, but sometimes they're really wrong. You could have a blonde person who's very intelligent, got lots of qualifications, and may decide to live a really boring life. They might be into stamp collecting, or something like that. You know. And also the fact they think of all young people going out to night either playing on computer games, playing violent ones that attempt they will copy them, and they never play with toys, they never socialise, always on Facebook and Twitter and MySpace and Tumblr and all of those other things, and all they do is play games on their tablets or their, MP3 players or on their mobile phones, that kind of thing. It's just weird. And also when they think of older younger people, sort of like age, like 13, like 19, or 13 to 15, they all think that they're at their age, they're all off having sex, getting drunk, getting drugs, smoked for the first time, and that kind of thing. And I mean, when I was 13, I was getting into sex. I was trying out knitting. I was learning how to knit. I was watching What the Week, which is a television program in England. I mean, when I was 13, I didn't think myself of being sexy. I didn't think, oh, not even sexy, I didn't think I was beautiful. I was fat, hairy, had zits on my face. And I didn't think I was I didn't think I was beautiful. I look at other girls in the class, and I mean, I think they're beautiful. They're slim. They've got beautiful faces. They wear makeup. I didn't know much about, I couldn't get my makeup right. I haven't got any makeup on at all. But, I never wore makeup and that kind of thing. I just didn't think any bloke who was able enough to know about sex would want to have it off with me. Because, I mean, I was able enough to sort of start knowing about sex, but was I going to pull a guy? No. And also, I had a boyfriend at the time, which was a year older than me. So he was already in year 10. I was still in year 9 and still in, like, one part of the school. When he was in another part of the school. Pretty much so. Because, like, my school was split into, like, 3 parts. There was school phase, which was, like, pre-5-year-olds up until year 9. And then you went into transition, which was year 10 and year 11. And then up until year 14. So you had 3 extra years at school if you wanted to. You could either leave school at my school at age 16 or stay until you were 19. And that kind of thing. And also, it's like many other things. Like most people think of autistic people as either being really dumb, not able to look after themselves, and being sick and stupid, and not knowing what they're doing, lots of plot. Or they think of them as being really bright, a savant, Dustin Hoffman in that film, Rain Man. People thinking, I'm an excellent driver. And people thinking they're really good at math. I'll tell you something. I'm autistic. Shit at math. Absolutely shit. And also, maybe one thing, when they think of people who are smokers, probably think of them as being troublemakers, missing lessons because they're off doing all that, well, there might have been smokers out there who were, very good, very intelligent, very well behaved, did well at school. They just chose to smoke or that kind of thing. So, so I just think the whole world of stereotypes, if we can just sort of be open, more open to what people like, don't go on stereotypes, go on first impressions. Like with me, some people go on my first impression saying they're very able. And I've actually had people sort of, I tell them I'm autistic, and they say, "What? You are? But you're so able, so able." I say, "Yeah, because you don't usually run into many high functioning autistic people, because most of the time you get given one example, and that's always the severely or classical autistic. So, you not many people know that mildly autistic people and high functioning autistic people as well. So anyway, that's one thing I put into Room 101. Another thing I put into Room 101, I don't know if it's my autism that makes me sort of think this way about it, or if it's just me or even other people. Unless we're a very small breed of these types of people, bodily fans. Now I don't mind them coming from me, but I get sometimes really tetchy or irritated when other people do it, and especially when they do it really loud. And it's like soon they instantly walk into the room and constantly just making bodily noises all the way. I'm just gonna get some milk, and then they make all the bodily noises as they walk out the room. It's just, ugh, and And the fact, also the other thing that annoys me is that you can't express your feelings about someone's bodily noises, saying, do you mind doing that? I find it annoying. Or even just saying, I find your bodily noises annoying. Maybe I'm not approaching this correctly, but you know, I find it annoying. And you get, oh, that's a bit mean, isn't it? That's not very nice, you know. But that's my opinion. Pretty much the only reason I would say that. I wouldn't be nasty for a reason. I wouldn't be nasty if there wasn't a reason. I'm just expressing my opinion. But they see it's nasty, and that really annoys the fuck out of me. I don't know why I'm doing this. I just am. So it just is, and one of them is just really annoying. Like, you know, that kind of thing. But one that really annoys me is this one. So I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, but I'll try and do it for you. I don't know if you can hear, but I'll come closer to the microphone. That really annoys me. It goes through my body, and I just shudder. I just want to go, ah, why the fuck did you do that? But I can't. So I just keep it in. I'm like, in my mind, I'm getting, why did you have to do that? So, you know, but I have to keep it all up here. Because if I express it, you know, I wouldn't be able to say why I did it. I'd be like, yeah, it's like, are you okay? Yeah. Was my body noises, was it? No, it was something else. You couldn't exactly say, yes, it was your body noises. It went through my body, and I went through such agony. So, you know, I mean, it's just something I find really annoying, and sometimes I can't express about it, which makes it even more annoying. But I would happily put it into Room 101, or even like put out to Dragon's Den to someone to create an invention like a mask to put over someone so that all the naughty, you know, the body noises will come out as something else. Maybe a funny sound, like a fart sound, or like a like or a beep 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 beep, or a ping pong, or something like that. Something a bit more nicer, so I can end up giggling to myself and saying, you know, that kind of thing. But anyway, another thing that this came to me the other day when I was sort of out and about, and I really don't know why people do this. And I sort of think this is kind of ignorant sometimes. I think this is kind of rude. Forcing people to smile or saying cheer up. You know, and they don't even ask why you're upset or what's wrong or why you've got the deadpan look in your face. Or even sometimes when I'm upset and someone says to me, oh, can you cheer up? No. I want to stay miserable. I want the emotion to run through its course. I want to get it out of my system. I want people to respect that and give me space. Once I'm ready to cheer up, I will cheer up. All these times where like you're sort of doing something and you're concentrating and you have to, and they're like, come on, let's have a smile. Let's turn that frown upside down. You know, that kind of thing. And so you have to sort of sit there with a fake grin on your face, like, I'm really happy, even though inside my head I'm crying, tearing out the walls and screaming in agony. Bullshit. I mean, there's or even those people are like, God, tear that frown upside down. I'll turn your frown upside down. I'll even mush it into pulp. You know, you just want to absolutely just want to go like that. You know, so it's just really annoying. So what I would do is that if I saw someone who I thought was upset, I'd probably go and say, are you okay? Is there something wrong? And if they turn around and say, no, this is just a deadpan look, I would probably say, oh, okay, I just thought you were upset. I just wanted to check if you were okay. I wouldn't go naturally go over, come on, cheer up. It's a lovely day. Why are you being all miserable and deadpan? You know, I wouldn't do that. It's stupid. It makes you look like an idiot and it's rude, in my mind. But anyway, another thing, my silly item I will put into welll. Now, many people might have seen these on YouTube, might come across these by accident, or get your friends to sort of see these videos so you can record their reaction. Computer pranks. Now, the most common one is called the maze game, or the scary maze game, where pretty much you have to follow a dot, and the description says follow this dot down a maze, and there's about 3 levels, and apparently once you get almost down to the third level, the scary face pops up and goes, ah! Not like that, but like really high pitch. And there's ones like spot the difference, what's missing in the screen, and they actually tell you to turn up the volume, you know, to listen out for clues. By turning up the volume, it enhances the screen. And I will tell you now, no, they are not funny. I came across one by accident. It was a karaoke video that someone had made for Monsoon by Tokyo Hotel. It was the original key for the German version, but it had the English lyrics. I got to the beginning of the second verse. This face pops up, screams at me. I scream. I run out of the kitchen after I've opened the door. I run through the living room, round to the front door, screaming my head off. And believe me, my mum said she had never seen anyone go white as a ghost or clammy. And I had like a tear or two rolling down my face. I wasn't emotional. You know, I was shaking, my heart was going, that kind of thing. And I can still remember the date of when I first saw it. 10th of August 2010. No, 2009. And pretty much ever since then, I've had to sleep with my television on or listening to music on an MP3 player because I was scared of falling asleep in dead silence in case the face and screen pops up in my dreams. And it has a couple of times in the past, not as frequent, doesn't pop up as much now, but it did. It really did affect me in my dreams. It like, the first night I couldn't get to sleep much, and it was just, terrible. And well, it was just very hard to get over that. And the fact is, I did manage to sleep one night without my telly on. I managed to make a whole night. I managed to make the whole night through. I managed to make it through the night without having the telly on or listening to music. But the next night, I thought, oh, I've scared myself. But something else came in my mind that slightly disturbed me. So I had to put my telly on. And I've done it ever since. I mean, it's about something like 4 years, something like that, since it's happened. But yeah. So, I mean, they're not funny. And also, it's not just me as an autistic person. What if you've got someone watching that type of video or don't realise that there's something in the video that's going to pop up and scream at them? That person watching the video, what if they had a heart condition? Ah, that's making you think now. What if they had a heart condition, saw the video, saw the massive shock, the face and the screen? What if they keeled over backwards, had a heart attack, and died? That's something you've got to take. Now, the fact is, many people put these videos up, it's to make people jump. Oh, I fucking jumped. I fucking ran out the room, screamed my fucking head off. So, yeah. So, let me just say that. And there's actually, I looked this up on Wikipedia, and there's actually one country, I can't remember its name, but there's actually a country where it's illegal to show computer pranks. And I think it should be illegal in England. I think they should YouTube should block people or delete the videos of computer pranks, delete the Scary Maze game. If people want to go and find it on other websites, then that's fine. But don't go put it on YouTube where loads of people could find it, children could find it, children could find it thinking, ooh, a maze game, I like games, and have this face pop up and end up running to their parents. So, yeah, think about it next time. If you're going to put a computer prank video up on YouTube, just think who might be your audience. Someone with a heart condition, a child, someone who's very easily disturbed or scared, someone who's autistic, whoever. So yeah. Also, another thing I'm going to put into Room 101. This is like the last item on the list, but I thought of something else I will mention as well. The words retard and now spastic is actually a more stronger word than retard. And many people, if you say the word spastic, you get this. You wouldn't get the slap across the face, but you get the wagging thing and say, don't say that word again. It's a very strong word, very bad word. Because actually, not many people would know, but there's an English charity that was originally called the Spastic Society, who helped disabled children, but now they're called Scope, and that kind of thing. And now it's a very old-fashioned word, but some people do still use it, and it is very strong. I mean, I did beg pardon for mentioning this word, but I have to for the basis of it. If you say spastic, it sounds like someone's sticking it right in your face, and retard. I think that's quite a bad word. I mean, if you know what I mean, but there's still a medical term for it in America: mental retardation. Why? Can't you just say mental issues or mental health problems? Like, don't say mental retardation. Just say mental difficulty, something like that. A lot of people will probably wonder what is the correct term to call someone who's disabled nowadays, because it used to be mentally handicapped, physically handicapped, but they're no longer used. And some people might be wondering, well, if I can't use those, what's the right term nowadays? Physically disabled, learning disabled. And what I do say to people, I actually say, done this in the past. I've said to people that I'm learning disabled, and then if they really want to know, and I feel confident with telling them, and then say autistic. Because if you come straight out with autistic with some people, you get stereotypical judgment, you get the myths, you get people just picking on you. But if you say learning disabled, with my case, they might think, oh, it might be dyslexia, that kind of thing, with my ability, the fact that I'm quite an able person. So, so those are the correct terms: physically disabled, learning disabled. So as long as I've got a physical disability or learning disability. Now, the ninth item I've just thought about is pretty much homophobia. And I don't know why it's called homophobia, because if it was homophobia, it would be a fear of gay people. If you're being prejudiced, it'd be homoist. Homoist? Where you're being, discriminating against gay. And there's also these homophobic people when their parents, or when people say homosexuality is a choice. And if people make that choice, well, that is all a choice. Well, there has been, there's now been research done. Oh, by the way, that's my hairband. There has been research done in America showing that it can be genetic with birth order, DNA, and that kind of thing. So, and also the fact is, it's what you've been brought up with. Like, the reason I'm straight is because when I was really young, I didn't really hear about it. I never heard about homosexuality, and I'm not sure if I really had those sort of thoughts of homosexuality. So when I was very young, I was sort of severely autistic, borderline classic autistic. So I didn't really know what being gay or homosexuality was, because they never really spoke to you about it. What the fact they wouldn't teach you anything about why. That was back before we got to autism education at 5 years old. So I didn't really have those thoughts, but like, it sort of did have sort of, well, I did sort of have those thoughts about 15, and I got really, like, one of my best friends, I don't know why I had those moments. I thought, this is such a sweet moment. I mean, I really just want to show my love for you, and just maybe just give you a friendly little kiss on the cheek or something like that. And I did say to some of my friends I want to try being gay, if I actually am gay, and that kind of thing, or explore that side of myself. I'm sure there is a gay side to myself. That's just hidden away, and occasionally it comes up with just, and it gives me little clues sometimes. But it's all these people that saying that homosexuality is a choice. It's stupid. All the fact that they say it's a choice. It makes sense because there are some places in the world you could choose to be gay because it's legal. But then again, there are places where you choose not to be gay because it's illegal, and also in some places it can be punishable by death. Yeah. Well, I really don't get these people that say, "Oh, my child just come out to me that they're gay." They made homosexuality is a choice, but they made the wrong choice. Why does homosexuality have to be the wrong choice? Well, the fact is they say, okay, in some way I do sort of see where it isn't natural because if you want to make a baby, you've got to have a man and a woman. Yeah, a man and a woman to make a baby. But on the other hand, there are animals in the animal kingdom that do express homosexual relations. You know, this ranges from lions, house cats, zebras, loads of other creatures. But the only creature in the animal kingdom that expresses homophobia is humankind. So who's natural now? So, you know, but I really hate these people that just doom on people like, you made a choice. It was the wrong choice. Or when they say they're going through a phase. You're not gay, it's a phase. This is what I want to do to them. Gah! I don't want to beat the lights out of them. No, it's not a phase. It might be a phase in some people, but most of the time they find out they're gay because they go through that process by themselves to realise who they actually are. Why would it be a choice if naturally you are tending towards someone of the same sex as you than, you know, someone who, you know, is the opposite sex to you? Then why is it a choice or why is it a phase? Or this silly little phase that they like someone who's the same sex as them? Well, let me just say, once they, you know, once you think they get to that age and they're still, you know, liking people who are the same sex as them, then you realise it's not a phase. And you've done a very stupid thing by believing it was and being a terrible person. And also some of these religions that say that, you know, being gay is a sin. Well, I believe that, as an atheist, I believe it's a sin that to make people feel like they have to pretend to be who they're not in order for you to accept them. So they would have to live through, you know, misery and end up being with the wrong person so that you would accept them and say to them, I love you, my child. You're just, you know, you are my child and I love you for who you are. When really you know who they are. If you really want to love them for who they are, embrace them. If they're gay or straight, I mean, when I have kids, and if it turns out my kids came out to me as gay or bisexual, I still love them because they're my children. And actually, I would naturally want to support them in any possible way. You know. I know it might be a bit of a shock at first to realise it, but I would come round to it, and I would want to do everything to support them. You know. So basically, those are my things I would put into Room 101. If you have any other ideas of what you would like to put into Room 101, just comment at the bottom of the video. If you have any questions for me to do a Q&A answer, like a Q&A answer session, question and answer session, I'll happily do that. All you have to do is leave a question, as long as it's clean and polite. Thank you very much. If you want to find out more videos that I've actually got play reviews, I've got nostalgia reviews, that kind of thing. Just click subscribe and you get to find out loads more. Come and visit my channel. I mean, I've got a couple of videos now. So I hope to see you once again. This has been the Room 101, the Room 101 blog. I've been Steph Urban, and remember, stay dramatic.